Hey folks, welcome back. We're just nearing the end of the Ancient Era as the Zhou, and we are playing an interesting game here where we are only allowing ourselves a single city until we settle the New World. So once we find the New World, we can plop down outposts and found cities as usual, but until that time, we are only allowed our capital city. And that presents some interesting challenges because it's been really hard getting fame in this game and scaling up our empire. As you can see here, I'm not doing particularly well on fame compared to a normal game, but we're going to try to make do. It will perhaps present some interesting challenges later in the game. Last episode, we kind of spent a lot of time chasing this pinkish red player around in like this Looney Tunes style chase where they kept just founding new cities every time I got rid of their old one. So that was pretty annoying and kind of took a big resource investment to take care of, but hopefully this episode we can actually vassalize them. That'll be on the list for today. We were also thinking about going up right away to the next era, but we are only 2 away from our scientist stars, and fame is really, really valuable for us this game because of how hard it's going to be for us to generate. So I'm going to delay going up an era. I'm going to move everyone on to science because I'm hoping I can, with the overflow from the science, I can like get fishing down to 1 turn, and it'll take no more than a couple turns to actually get that last star, and then I can pick up my next culture. So that being said, let's end the turn here. And I believe there's a discovery right there that I want to go for. They settled an outpost there that I don't want them to have. There's an outpost there that I don't want them to have. And we want to claim this territory, and I'm going to settle here. There's a ruins here, which will make my outpost develop in 0 turns, so we're going to go for that. And then I have some crises here. I'm actually going to demand those. I want to maintain high war supports against this particular player. I also have here, and I would like to vassalize them, so I'll make that demand as well. Okay, great. So we got fishing. So let's move some people back onto industry, I think. We'll just work on like masonry in the meantime. And let me influence purchase a couple things. Actually, first, let's grab our outpost here. It's a little bit more valuable. This will be a great attach point for the city because of how many rivers it has. It already has a lot of rivers baseline, so I'll have the infrastructure that I'll need in here to like get a lot of value out of the rivers in this territory. So let's get the porcelain and the obsidian because that'll increase our money and our production respectively. This one's not quite ready yet, and I need another turn to influence purchase anything there. I think I would go for the salt, given the option. However, since it is not available yet, I am going to influence purchase the papyrus. Now, looking at cultures that are available, I talked about the Greeks because I am going to struggle with science this game, since I'm limited to 1 city. However, because I picked the Zhou in the last era, I'm not as worried about it. The Celts could be an option because of the food per number of attached territories would be really good for me, since I have a big capital. The Maya are the same way, but with the industry, and with the benefit, of course, same with the Celts, of giving the faith on the Kuna, which I'm really going to need. The Polynesians are also an option here, right? So the main thing with the Polynesians is intrepid navigators, and that allows me to traverse the open ocean without taking any damage, so I could discover the new world really, really fast and kind of get settled. What I'm worried about here is that this is going to be way too slow and that I'm crippling myself, because really the only benefit I'm getting from the Polynesians is that I can find the new continents, but like my capital is going to be crippled with this thing basically. Like I have really, really low outputs already, like only 114 industry. So what I'm actually thinking is that I pick the Maya in this era just so I have a relatively functional capital, and then pick either the Norsemen or the Umayyads in the next era, so that I can move across the ocean and actually find the new world. So the Maya would allow me to actually scale up the industry in my capital and be maybe marginally useful before I enter the medieval era. So I'm going to take the Maya, which isn't really what I expected going into this. But I think for the first couple eras, I need to treat this more akin to like a 1 city challenge. Okay, let's pillage here. Excuse me, I've been talking a lot recently, especially since I went home for the holidays. It has affected my voice quite a bit. Let's get these Kunas queued up, and these are some really juicy ones. Really happy with those. Let's at least build 1. I'm just going to even purchase that one because that's really good. And let's get off masonry. We're not super worried about that. What we really want is hydrology for the watermill and the artificial reservoirs, which provide +2 industry and +2 food on rivers respectively. Then we're going to want standing army and philosophy. So standing army gives us the noble chapelineers as well as the swordsmen, which dominate classical era combat. We want to make sure our units are up to date. And then philosophy, we really want the research quarters as well as the schools, just to make sure that our science is keeping up. Let's come down here. I'm not going to worry about attacking that unit. Let's just pillage. We have some crises here. Nope. How about here? No? Okay. We'll just keep going then. And this scout's going to just come hang out down here, wait for a harbor and appropriate tech. We're going to grab the salt first, just so my city can keep growing. And here, let's just move these units down in this direction in case some of my other units need any supports. There's a part of me that wants to move some people onto science so that I get some of these techs a little bit faster. And yeah, seems like I can do that reasonably. So my other thought this game is that I may potentially want to use Landraiser on Haojing. And that will disable both my money and my science. Like, I won't be making any of it, basically. So I want to set myself up to make sure that I have all the things that I want to build with Landraiser before I actually activate it. And it is going to be, it's going to put me at like a bit of a disadvantage, but at the same time, right, it's like, it may be the only way that I really have to try to keep up. Okay, Civics Osmosis, natural right. Normally I want +2 influence on Emblematic District. However, the extra faith that I'm getting on Emblematic District from Divine Mandate is like what's keeping my religion afloat at the moment, so I don't want this at the moment. I'm going to refuse, which will cause me a stability penalty, but I do have the capacity to like remedy this because of the Confucian schools and the Zhou, so I don't need to worry about it too much, I don't think. Go ahead and settle a new outpost there. Pillage that layer. And don't have enough to get the incense there, but we will get that once it becomes available. Also want to make sure I don't forget to build that horse. We'll add that into the queue. Okay, incense. Let's go after that unit there. They'll retreat. Okay. So this feels like reasonably secure down here now. We have 3 turns on standing army. I definitely don't have enough to afford pronounce here, so I'm just going to risk the negative consequences. This does give me a little bit of extra industry and housing, which I do need at the moment. End the turn. Buy the Kuna. I think that's worth it to get an extra turn of industry there. And we're a couple turns away from standing army. I also want to get the watermill. I want to get the forge. I want to get artificial reservoirs. Lumberyard, not quite worth it yet, so we'll hold off on that until we have some of this other infrastructure. All right. I feel okay at the moment. I'm a little worried about fame. Yeah, look at some of the fame leaders right now, right? Like, they just entered the classical and they already have a bunch of fame. Like, it's going to be difficult for me to keep up with them this game just because of the constraints that I've placed on myself. Okay, so we have an army coming down here. Let's make sure they don't have the opportunity to pillage anything or stop me from pillaging that. They do have higher tech, but I have twice as many units as they do in that area, so it should be fine to engage them. They're standing army. Okay, so they're attacking me. Pretty good terrain here, so I should definitely be able to deal with this. Archers up on the high ground. Just make a big wall in the front, basically. Yeah, and they have to attack up onto high ground in order to hit me. So there's like no way to actually win this combat. These units are all going to die. I didn't realize they could get up over there. Going to deal with the scouts with the warriors. I want my indirect fire available to deal with these swordsmen. And we're just going to camp there for the time being. We'll take a decent bit of damage from these swords. But I should be able to rotate these guys out for some higher health units now. And let's make sure we kill these swordsmen here. Don't think I want to make those attacks. Even with the high ground, I have lower combat strength than those swordsmen do. Okay, kill those javelin throwers. We could get this wrapped up this round, that would be ideal, but it doesn't seem likely, so let's just move down there. We'll get a little bit of adjacency. Make that attack. They'll probably attack me, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, right, because I'm the defender, so they'll attack next turn. Okay, remove those spearmen, all good there. Have some crises, which I'm going to go ahead and demand. I would really like to try to vassalize this player if I'm able to do so. Yeah, so there's disease, which is really unfortunate, because that's a big decline in the amount of food that I have. So I'm going to need to move some people onto food to stop myself from losing population. So I could also turn on Landraiser, and I could place Pyramid as well, which I think I want to do. So I'm going to put on Artificial Reservoirs. I'm going to not worry about Philosophy. Do I have any other critical text that I really need? I don't think so. So let's put on Landraiser here. Let's put people on Industry, because that's going to be a little bit more efficient. And we'll start working on all this critical infrastructure that we need. All right. We also want to upgrade all these, and we do have a gold deficit right now because of Landraiser. Whoops, did not mean to separate those units. So we do have to be conscious about that and not overexpend funds. Make sure we're using our influence to get all the stuff that we need, get our harbor and all our iron up. So Pyramid of Giza we can have in 4 turns, and we have enough food here to be stable. I don't think this is going to make a difference. So if I put someone on money or science, that's going to convert into industry, but I'd rather get another pop in 8 turns. I don't think like 6 industry is really worth it. So this is a bit of a risky play, right? Because I am losing all my global outputs in order to do this, in order to like really get my city stood up. And that's a really nice industrial quarter. Let's do something like this. But also, I think I can maybe do this. I think that might be worth it, just to get some extra outputs out of the tea and the saffron. And then the Pyramid of Giza is going to provide some really good benefits. I am going to refuse that unit industry cost reduction. I already have the stability malice from my previous refusal, so it doesn't affect me any farther for refusing an additional one. I'm going to refuse these demands. Refuse those demands. So that'll happen what'll happen there is that once I reach the equilibrium, and actually currently, because I have more demands now, I'll increase my war support faster than I would previously. Let's upgrade those warriors as well. Okay, so I'm losing a decent bit of gold per turn, but that is what it is. I'm going to use warfare to fuel my economy, maybe. Get out of my way. I'll probably get a grievance from that. They're already at max war support, so I'm just going to refuse their demands. Refuse them again. Okay. Okay, and I'll have to withdraw my demands, but that's fine. I'm fine with neither of us having demands. Okay. Pyramid of Giza in 1 more turn, so that'll increase my outputs quite a bit, as well as make it much more productive building some of these other districts, which is going to be really, really nice. So I'll also open up the possibility of me perhaps getting another wonder. There we go. Pyramid of Giza. And I would like to get a Kuna, but none of this terrain's like great for it. There's a lot of food here. I'm kind of waiting to get a decent amount of war support against the Nazca so that I can go for a vassalization. You need a decent amount in order to do that. Just refuse those. Confucian School coming next. Actually, 15 industry on the lumberyard is definitely worth it over that maker's quarter, so I'll prioritize that. The industry investment versus the output is much better on the lumberyard now because I'm exploiting more forest or woodlands, I suppose. We have 3 more turns on Landraiser. Too bad this was claimed, actually. I would have really liked to get this. So, I'm kind of hovering over this. Church of Our Lady is really interesting because it gives you a lot of faith pretty early in the game and a lot of stability and some other stuff. But the main benefit of it is that, like the pyramids, you can basically place it anywhere. Pyramids have some restrictions as well, like being near a river, but it allows you to exploit all the adjacent tiles, which would have been really nice for me this game. I suppose I could have gone for like Pyramid of the Sun or something. And actually, I might use influence to attach a territory here. Is there a better spot? Oh yeah, that's a lot better there. So I'm going to move that there, and then I'm going to attach, because that is going to give me the opportunity to get another Kuna up. Both of these are pretty good. Probably that one, because that steers some forest, which is slightly more efficient. So let's get that Kuna first. And what do you want? Let's just declare war. That's fine. Not really worried about this army here. There are some headhunters in there, but we have the range advantage. Okay. Should also consider just like one-turning another army with my Landraiser. Let me look at that in just a sec. Maybe do something like that. I'm surprised I can't see any of their units. Curious how aggressive they'll be if I end the turn. I have a little bit to take care of this, so I don't mind playing somewhat conservatively. Yeah, it's fine. I'll go on the river. I would really like to just take out those ranged units. Okay. So I could deploy here. And actually, I think it might be worth it getting one of those chariots. And a couple of these noble javelineers. Probably just like a swordsman. Like one turn on that is really powerful. Get fanatical. Yeah, I think I want to get that. Keep up my extra faith output, and this gets me a little bit more stability. That plus 5% money is not really doing anything for me. Not worried about that. 5. Didn't realize I had swordsmen up here. Sure, hitting those headhunters. So hopefully now that I've destroyed their ranged units, they'll be a little bit more aggressive, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. So we're going to have to push forward a little bit. Just unfortunate, because that'll put me on low grounds. But at least I have fire superiority. And plenty of units to reinforce. Actually, we can bring these units in as well, so might as well do that. Might even just bring in... see if if I... Can you shoot from there? Yeah. So if I bring in these Noble Javelineers, yep, so they can hit from here, and they're going to do quite a bit of damage. There's a part of me that wants to milk this for another turn, because I would like to get my Militarist Aerostars. So bring them up there, I'll just bring that guy down there. Okay. Take out the citizens. They're a little tougher than I gave them credit for. I think we can move in like that. So now they'll kind of focus on trying to kill those units. Make sure they are getting appropriate adjacency here. Alright. Should be a clean sweep on this one. They hit the citizens, they can. So we'll shoot the Agaush, shoot the citizens, let's get in the city, and we can just attack like that. Great. And then next turn they should capitulate, because I think this is their only city. Unless they have founded another city, which would be really unfortunate, but I have
debate and
pretty good war support. Okay, they capitulated. So we'll force their surrender. They are going to become my vassal. And that gives me a lot of vision. Okay, interesting. Kind of a weird continent layout. So that has, I guess I'm no longer on Landraiser, but that has stabilized my income a decent bit. It's only 7 tribute, but still. I'll take it. Hopefully they'll actually be valuable for me. In the meantime, masonry we can just finish for free, so we're going to do that. And then we're going to get trade expeditions because we want the naval transport for the scout so that I can claim this island up here. Really hoping that has some more luxury resources. Achaemenids, let's see if they'll trade. They will. Probably go for salt, actually. Ooh, that's really high maintenance costs. I don't know if I can afford that. I need some stuff in reserve. 20 industry from Stoneworks is really nice. Let's grab that. School will also be good for us because we started with the Zhou. That's a nice research quarter there as well. Do I want to get that? I think I do. Just gonna make that demand. What do their armies look like? Not like super threatening. I'm worried that they're the Goths. Yeah, they do have iron and horses, so they do have a really powerful emblematic units in an open field battle. Maybe if I had like one more army, I'd feel a little bit safer. How's my indirect fire look? I only have 3 archers, so maybe I get like another simple army. Something like that. Fanatical or learning. Don't want to tilt the axis too far. And I do need the extra science. We'll go for learning. So one more turn for that army. So what I'm going to do is position these 3 armies up in this direction. And they'll target Laventa. And then this set of units that I'm producing, as well as this extra swordsman, will just help defend my new vassal against any incoming armies from San Lorenzo. Okay, get a wonder. Might be worth getting Pyramid of the Sun, but there are some decent wonders in the medieval So I might not want to increase my cost of those wonders given my limited ability to actually generate influence at the moment. That's a pretty ineffective path to get there. Guess we just like stack everyone up and on the river here. So I think I just don't claim a wonder. I think if it were church, I would probably grab it. But otherwise, doesn't seem worth it to me at the moment. Also need to get an embassy. That's a really good spot for a Maker's Quarter. But I do need the influence. Are there any other decent locations? 12. I guess this particular spot has less like longevity for Maker's Quarters, so maybe I put it in there. Yeah, because I can get some good Maker's Quarters out in this direction. Okay, let's do this. So we're going to get the school because we need tech. And speaking of tech, maybe go into craftsmanship for the charcoal kiln and the artisan workshop. Oh, there's a island there that I had completely neglected for some reason. Maybe I bring this one unit back to try to grab that. And these units can push forward. Okay. Some science osmosis, that's really nice. Oh man, black player is doing really well for themselves. They're needy, huh? They're not really doing that well. The Vantu usually don't do very well. They have Yellowstone there. The Nazca were a really weird pick for them because there aren't any natural wonders here. Kind of want to play a game where I like have really high number of natural wonders and play the Nazca. Okay, so Goths going to declare this war. Gonna hope they don't have like an insufferably large number of armies, but we're at pretty even tech, or we have tech parity, I guess is what I'm trying. Oh, I meant to send this guy back this way, didn't I? So we're at tech parity right now, so I'm okay with kind of playing aggressively. So a lot of their strength right here is actually coming from ships, right? Who are really not going to contribute to this battle at all. We'll just put those units up on high ground there. Let's just start with that unit in front. I'll do something like that. And we're just going to smash them down with... I forgot these were javelins. Okay, they're just not gonna have to not do anything, and we'll swap locations with this archer on the next turn. I forgot I had a sword there. Okay. We're just going to totally ignore these ships. We don't need them. We're doing plenty fine on the militarist stars for the time being. We're also going to struggle with the expansionist stars, because we have to just attach a bunch of territories to our capital, which can become unsustainable. Okay. So, we move this archer down here, it can still shoot, and then this guy can shoot at the envoy from here. And we want to prioritize the citizens here, because they're just much higher combat strength. Envoys are really not a threat. Let's get a unit in the city. And I'm not going to attack, I'm just going to defend, I think. Okay, same thing again. Okay, can't hit them, unfortunately. Okay, great. Move him out of the way. Let's get a new unit there. Okay, well, Archer, you can start shooting the unit there, I suppose. Just make that attack. Maybe they die if they attack me. Which they're not going to. Okay. So one more turn and we'll have that siege cleared up. Let's see. Anywhere that has fewer turns to develop that's visible. Nope, we're just going to pop an outpost right there. Oh, it has a wonder. Plus 5 money per number of attached territories on city or outposts. That could actually be really good with housing. I mean, it's not like insane, but because I'm going to attach a bunch of territories anyway, that like just naturally feeds into my strategy. That could be decent for me. I could maybe prioritize trying to attach that. We need to attach this territory here first in order to do that. So maybe so if I move that there, I'll need some more influence. But okay. Next up, maybe rhetoric for the library. That one science per population could be really helpful for me. Okay, religion's actually starting to do well. Let's see. Okay, we're past the point where these javelineers are actually going to be able to hit anything. So let's just pull them back. We'll move the archers into position to actually hit. Go up on even terrain there, and then we'll get in position. So this guy can just shoot him again. Okay. Maybe if we... Yep, so we can hit from there, which is nice. Good damage on that sword. Oh, they'll kill him, actually. That's really good. Guess we'll try to do as much damage as we can to the ships out here, because I get really annoyed with ships in combat. Because they just kind of sit there and don't do anything. And especially when the enemy attacks you. This is a pet peeve of mine in humankind. Is that when the AI attack you, the only way to end the battle early is by killing all of their units. And what that means in effect is like sometimes their units can just like run away from you and you're stuck with all your units in a battle for like 6 turns, even though the enemy units can't actually fight back. And that happens all the time with the ships. They just like run and hide in a corner that you can't actually hit them. And they have no practical impact on the battle, but you are just like stuck in a fight with them anyway, and it pins your units down. Okay, so that is one. One city kind of removed there. End the turn. It's an agrarian star. Okay, nothing else really of value here. The wonder is nice, the natural wonder, but it's not like amazing. Okay. Don't need to worry about that ship, really. I suppose I need to worry about the... Well, no, if they were to attack the city, which I'm not sure they can do, actually. I'm not sure if these units can attack cities. I don't think they can. So I'm going to just move out of there and start heading towards San Lorenzo. Trade luxuries with the Carthaginians. I don't know where you are, but sure. Actually, I'm fine with that. I'm not like collecting any leverage. I have not even built an envoy. Good with trading luxuries. Feel free to buy some stuff from me. I need the money. That's 18 industry there would be pretty nice. Artisan workshop will also be good for me. Could use the barracks maybe, but I don't think that's worth it. I think I have all the units that I need for the time being. Man, rough day to be me with my fame at the moment. Not pleased with that. Okay, they have a unit that could theoretically take La Venta back, so I'm going to have to move this guy back up here. And extra health regen is actually pretty good. It's 2 influence per pop. That is what I want. I want influence per population. I need to stockpile some influence so that I have it for later. Because, like, my ability to get a lot of things, like wonders or whatever the thing is called, the expansionist stars, is all constrained by influence at the moment. Could do plus 1% science and holy sight. I don't really care about this. It's not enough faith. But extra percentage science I think is worth it. Can we get the charcoal kiln? And another science quarter seems worth it to me. Okay, San Lorenzo's pop is going down, which tells me that they are building units. I guess let's go around this way, knowing that this headhunter is kind of blocking me at the moment. But nothing I can do there. Okay, a little bit of influence. There's fine. Make sure we have a harbor there, just in case we need it. Okay, we could go into the next era if we wanted. I don't know if we're quite ready for that yet. Let me check my era stars. Rapa Nui have already been taken. So we are looking at either the... where are they? Umayyads. And that's because they can research tech in the next era, so we could try to beeline for transports that can get me across the ocean. Or Norsemen because of the long skip. That would allow me to ignore penalties from deep water. So those are kind of my 2 options. The Swahili, I guess the Matepe could potentially do it for me as well because of how fast they are. But I don't know if I need the rest of what the Swahili are offering this game, which is kind of unusual to say. I don't think anyone else is really going to get me where I need to go. Okay. I just need to keep an eye on culture selections, and if one of those 2 go, then I'm kind of in trouble. There are a lot of people that are pending their culture selection. I don't feel like the Norsemen are usually frequently taken, though. So my options here, Shelter the True Oracles. I mean, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. 24 influence right off the bat, basically. I guess I don't know if I would get the influence from those ones. I don't know if it's worth it. So my kind of what I want to do is get the Be Virtuous as Water. So if you look at my industry in here, I'm already at like 500, which is a little over my benchmark for this era. And I do need more because I'm only on 1 city, but I'm almost done with the Maker's Quarter, and there's a charcoal kiln coming up. So I'm going to be in pretty good shape. And I haven't even built the Artisan Workshop yet, which I need to add into the queue. So I think Be Virtuous as Water just lets me continue to expand without needing to worry about the stability effects. So I'm going to grab that, and that's going to be really strong for me this game. So 137% surplus. I don't need to worry about stability again for a long time this game. Okay, I'm going to cautiously creep forward here. Just want to keep all my units together. Get you out onto the water, and we'll see what else we can find. I'm going to refuse that white peace proposal. Okay, they are attacking me. Okay, they don't have anything super scary. They have a lot of units, but it's not really that bad. I don't have any javelin throwers, so you need to keep that in mind. I'm going to basically just do something like this, where I like deploy all my units in the back here. Because they have no way of getting around onto this side. And actually, I should be able to make use of this garrison, potentially. So if I can just take out their javelin throwers, then I'm going to be in pretty good shape and can just funnel them through this choke point where I have a whole bunch of archers raining fire down on the enemy units. It'd be a little bit dangerous until that point, though. As you can see, I did take a lot of damage there. So I think... No, I don't get any benefits from being adjacent to the garrison, which is too bad. But... I do not have high ground with those archers there, so let's get them onto high ground. Just take out those javelin throwers, and from there we'll pummel the swordsmen. This is going to take a while to get through this battle. There's definitely risk of losing some units here. Hit those javelin throwers. Might have to reposition these guys in order to hit these ones here. Let's move these back. Let's move some new units into position. And see if we can take these swordsmen out. This is a little risky, but I think it's worth it to kill those javelin throwers. If I can get exclusive fire superiority on this peninsula here, it's basically good night for them. They're gonna hit my archers? Yeah, they are. Okay, that's good for me, actually. Losing combat strength on these archers is really not that big of a deal. I'm probably gonna lose these swordsmen. Yeah, that's fine. I knew that was a risk going in, but I think it's actually a good trade in this case. Because now there's nothing that they can do about these archers, and all they can do is funnel 2 melee units at a time into attacking these swordsmen. Okay. And this is disabling their city, remember, so they're currently unable to actually produce anything. They're totally crippled. Okay. I can go for open-minded or religious hostility. I am actually going to do something very unusual and go for open-minded this game. I'm not going to get the extra combat strength on unit. I need as much food as I can get, and extra influence on my state religion followers is going to be great for me because of how low my influence is. I need every little bit of influence that I can possibly get. Just pop that down right there. Can always move it later if I need to. And I'm going to refuse their white peace proposal. Okay, tech. We want to set up... I actually don't know where the longship unlocks. It might be Seafaring Mastery. So I think we get foreign outposts just to set up for that. Let's make sure they're still available. No one's picked them yet. The longer I go without picking them, the more of a risk there is that they get stolen by someone. I would really like to get more fame this era, because like I'm in 5th place on fame, which, you know, is to be expected this game, but do religious minorities. I don't have a lot of non-state religion followers, so I don't think that's worth picking anything there. Okay, let's get back to this battle. We're just going to pummel units over here for the rest of this battle. We're not going to make any melee attacks, basically, if we can avoid it. Okay, they have brought some reinforcements in. That's really unfortunate position, actually. So they've actually bypassed my units up here. Okay, they've actually put themselves in a worse position than they were in before. We're going to need to deal with these horsemen, though. They're very dangerous to my archers. So we are just going to like trap them in there, basically. Make sure that these swords are getting adjacency, and we will continue to pummel them with our ranged units. Didn't kill them, unfortunately. I think we want to kill these horses as soon as possible, so we need to make that attack. Because these units will start becoming vulnerable to melee very quickly here, and I could end up losing more units if I don't have more swords to pull back. Okay, I think yep. Oh, I can't quite reach there. That's unfortunate. Okay. I think I'm going to lose another unit there. Humanitarian aid. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Give me stuff on my capital. I should probably build this Kuna before the end of the era. I'm going to buy that. I think that's worth it. I'm just sitting on a bunch of gold right now. And library is what I need. Scientific correspondence. No, I think they're behind me, so I'm not really interested in that. Refuse a white peace. I probably need to build a little bit more military since I'm losing a couple units in my current combats. I think we have a decent spawn point here. Yeah, let's just like get a couple replacement swords going. It's going to delay the library a bit, but it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, so there go my swords there, which is fine. I mean, it's not fine, but you expect to lose units in equal combats. Yeah, I'll just make that attack. I am feeling the lack of the homeland axis this game, I will not lie. Those, like, small differences in combat strength can really impact your game. See if they actually keep trying to attack me with melee. They do. Okay, let's move that guy back. I'm going to go after these ships, because this will turn into a situation like I was talking about, where I'm stuck in a battle with ships that can't actually do anything to me. Fastest route here. Probably that one. Okay. Refuse again. See what we can explore. Okay. No obvious route to a new world. See if this guy sees anything just stepping out here for a minute. The part of me that like wants to send this guy blitzing ahead because I think I need more blocker units. Come on. Why don't you want to come out? Okay. And this guy has a lot of mobility as well. I think maybe if I pull that guy back, move him forward. Just because he's high health, so there's not really a lot of risk of him dying. Yeah, and kind of what I thought would happen is because they see, oh, this is anti-cav, they'll go after my emblematic unit. But the reality is that is a terrible idea for them. Yeah, let's get the charge there. Move that guy back onto the flag. Don't want to lose to a silly mistake where I just like leave the flag unoccupied, you know. Okay, let's pull him back. Rapa Nui, so the only ones that have been chosen. Actually, who chose them? I don't know. I guess it would be Blue, who is second in fame at the moment. that the last of their... Yep. Okay, let's make sure we have some adjacency here. And then no more spearmen. And now I have to wait several more turns, right? Like, there's nothing I can do about these guys. They're too far away for me to actually hit. So I just have to end this combat, because there's not like there's a flag I can capture or anything to end it. Monumental Contractors, the Rapa Nui, I'm going to refuse that. And I'm going to refuse that white piece. Okay. Still looking okay as far as my culture selection. One more tech, and I would have 2 scientist stars. I would need to attach 2 more territories for the expansionist stars. Do I have any crises? How about here? I'm going to renounce that. Let's try moving this guy over here. There's a little bit more scouting that can be done in that direction. Move them in, just in case I need them for some reason. Whoa. What happened there? Oh, I turned on automatic battle. Kind of funny to see the AI logic in terms of shuffling the units around. Okay. So, of course, they have instantly produced some more units. I'm going to have to pull some units back just to heal up before I actually do any kind of assault or anything. Before promotes. Okay, research quarter coming up. Do I want to move people off industry onto science? I probably do. That is going to... Okay, I need exactly all of them in order to make that research quarter in one term, so I will do that. Wow, 23 industry there. That's wild. Definitely get that. I'll also need some commercial districts, but those are kind of my lowest priority, I would say. Okay, let's make sure all these guys heal up. Jump up, okay. Little disorganized at the moment, but we'll sort out kind of army assignments after the siege here. Hopefully everyone's captured. Yep, we're all good. All right. So hopefully this will be the end of this war here. Actually, do they have 1 ranged unit? Let's put them like right here. I think they'll absorb some damage there, but I want units that can actually attack into the city adjacent to the flag. All right. Oh, these are my Javelineers. I forgot I had these in the battle now. Okay, so they're a lot less vulnerable to melee attacks. Let's go after that guy. Try to focus one guy down. Not quite enough. Want to focus these javelin throwers to the extent that I can. Probably too dangerous to attack them with these ones, so we'll just go for that attack. Just hit them from long range. And these spearmen are actually quite vulnerable, so we will take all those attacks. All right, round 2. I don't know where their javelin throwers went. Let's actually do this. Boop. Hit these swordsmen. This guy's vulnerable, so let's move him. Move him into the city, move him back so my Archers are not at risk. Attack. Okay, we can actually get in the city there. Swords, swords. Kill them, maybe? Oh, you didn't attack. Maybe? Come on, you can do it. Got him. And then arms deal. Not interested. Arms deal. Maybe interested? I mean, I'm fine with keeping them happy for now, actually. I wouldn't actually mind getting an alliance. Okay, I'll just renounce that. They don't want an alliance, but maybe later. Got a feeling that would happen. Oh, I should have meleeed these javelin throwers, actually. Go into the city. We'll bonk those citizens. Citizens. Okay, javelin throwers. Alright. And that just leaves the ships. But I already have the flag, so don't need to deal with it. Okay. That's that battle. Okay. Norsemen are still available. And what's my likelihood of getting more stars here? Pretty low. I guess, like, if I were to attach a couple more territories, I could get an expansionist star. I need a lot of influence for that, though. I'm not sure if it's worth it. Just for 100 fame. I need another 400 influence in order to get that star. Pretty unlikely. Builder stars, probably not. Whoops, did not mean to do that. Definitely not agrarian stars. Yeah, I think I just need to bite the bullet here. Realize I'm going to have a bad first couple eras, which does not feel good. And probably just take the Norsemen. Let me check my text here. Yeah, we're going to need to get into Imperial power still. We'll just start on that. But we're not going to finish it, right? We want to get the longship as soon as it's available. Like I said, I don't remember what tech it actually unlocks at. So we're going to find out quickly because that's going to set the tone for the next one. So we're going to take the Norsemen. I just don't think the Umayyads are feasible given where I'm at in the tech tree. So we can end this war. You are going to become my vassal since I can't actually take any of your stuff. Suppose I could, technically, but rules that are imposed upon myself, like I mentioned before. Okay. Conquered empires. I don't want to free all my current vassals. I'll take the +10 war support after winning a battle. Okay. We definitely want some of this emblematic district. It'll provide some good growth. And we can influence purchase it in quite a few other places. Either of those is fine. We just want this in every possible place that we can get it, really. Great. Okay, let's take a look at tech. Yeah, Seafaring Mastery. Click that button. Put everyone on science. 8 turns for Seafaring Mastery at turn 86. Man, that's really painful. I'm still going to buy that Maker's Quarter. And I'm actually doing okay on growth right now. So I can get a House of Scribes. That's 1 turn, and that'll help a bit. What I'm going to do is get some more research quarters. I mean, +9 influence is actually pretty good for me. Like 15 science. That's good for me too. I mean, I need the influence. I don't think, I mean, the actual industry that I get up here is a lot better. But I don't think this is a good area for science because there's a river right there, and I would like to exploit that. So let's do something like that. Okay, let's just wrap up moving on my units. Oh, I have a lot of movement now, actually. And let's see if there's any good wonders available. Yeah. There are a few. Forbidden City, probably not this game. Great Zimbabwe. I mean, it would be really good later in the game, but I don't get a lot of immediate value out of it. Angkor Wat? Todaiji, I mean, it's fine, but not amazing. Angkor Wat. We have 16 followers here. I have a decent amount of faith total. This is actually a little challenging. So there are quite a few good wonders in this era. I definitely don't want Great Mosque, I don't think. Is bonus fame worth it this game for me? Because of how far behind I am? This would potentially set up Machu Picchu later, which would be very good if I'm just settling a whole bunch of new cities in like the early modern. Let's go for Angkor Wat. I think that makes the most sense. 6 turns to build. Yeah, that's a pretty good amount of outputs that I can get from that. Is there anywhere else that makes more sense? Because it kind of functions like a hamlet in a lot of ways. Not quite, because you can't build off of it, but also maybe like put it in here to connect, but yeah, it doesn't make sense because my outputs are not nearly what they would be somewhere else. I might actually value production a little bit more than food, because I'm going to get a lot of passive food from this anyway. So like 24 food and 25 production, it seems pretty good to me. Of course, this is a good spot on a river as well, and kind of like helps me bridge the river with districts. That's a little bit more stability there. I'll go for the extra production. Let's get, whoops, don't mean to do that. Let's get the House of Scribes first. Okay. All right, and with that, I think we're set up for the medieval era, which should be interesting. I'm excited to see how this plays out. And I'm really hoping that no one else has already found the New World, because it's going to make it really hard to identify where the actual New World is if someone has. So we'll see how it goes. So thanks for tuning in for this one. Hopefully we can recover from 6th place in fame at the start of the medieval. We'll see how it goes. Cheers. See you later.